Hello and good evening, Free Enterprise fans. Welcome to another Community Club Showcase. Um, yes, the custom objectives definitely tell us we got a mystery to solve. So yes, grab your friends and your Scooby snacks, hop in the machine. We're going mystery solving. So I'm Y2 Sky. I am joined by my good friend Tibble in the booth. Tibble, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I always love to solve a mystery, and it looks like our objectives kind of have the gold mystery theme vibe to it. Good old Scooby Doo.
Yeah. So Tibble, actually a little bit of a new person to the mystery flag sets. I don't think I've played one before. Maybe could you explain to me how the mystery flags work?
Yeah, so essentially we have this little file. It's called a YAML file, and you put weighting in for each individual flag. So let's just put an example out here of like vanilla and random key items. Let's just say we have 20 for vanilla and 60 for randomized. Basically, roll a d10, 6 plus, you get random. 4 plus, 4 minus, you get vanilla. Every single flag has a certain weighting to it to figure out what you're going to be running. It does not show you at the title screen here what your flags are. It's something you have to figure out throughout when you play the game. So right now we know that there are at least 7 objectives. There might be an 8th one out there, and there's a chance we could have a win game or win crystal. That's all the information we get. There's a few other things that you can find out here at the title screen, like if you go into custom, you can figure out if encounters are on, and that's about it.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, if I'm thinking about this from a runner's perspective, normally a lot of times, I'll look at the flags. I'll kind of sort of formulate a strategy before I dive into the race. You don't really get that luxury here, so you're kind of relying. It kind of sounds like you're relying on your general gameplay knowledge and overall knowledge of the game, as well as the possible flags that you can encounter, right?
Right, and a lot of the YAMLs out there have something like the dupe glitch or free key item. So me personally, I know some other runners will sit there and start encounters on at the very beginning, drop out in front of Baron, take a random encounter, and try and do the dupe glitch. Stop at Baron and sell. You hit the first item shop, you can generally get a generalized idea what type of weighting it is for the shops. You can see if it's SL quarter, if you're able to, if it's free. And then you kind of go from there where you're going to go next. Do you go over to Troya to see if it's free key item and maybe loot the public treasury to maybe figure out the treasure? Everybody's a little different at how they start out. It's going to be interesting to see how these two puffs, both Soapbox and Courant, decide they're at the beginning of this game. And we're off. We got a Telestart, and we got a Kane. And we got 2 kits.
2 kids and a twin heart to start with.
Hey, that's at least an objective. But I don't think our runners are going to go there just yet because we don't have enough power to exactly do it. But as for our regular objectives, we know we got to get Sid, we got to defeat the Gauntlet, Golbez, Dark Elf, Vanilla White Spear, Masamune, and both Tails.
Nice and convenient for our tracker to get the 2 tail objectives there combined. That's really nice. Yeah, a little bit of ZZ5 creeping in here with the Fabul Gauntlet and Golbez. I kind of like that as the fun little plug for our next tournament.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because we know that in our upcoming tournament, those are going to be 2 bosses that are always going to be in the particular seeds, and looks like we have a free key item. With
beautiful Stardust Red for that Tella.
Oh, there's our early game power. Also the fact of checking, the weapon and item shops here in Troy, there's 2 item shops. And I always think the easiest way to tell what the flag set is for those shops is with the item shops. If you find like a Leviathan orb or a Siren here in the overworld, you know it's wild.
Public treasury showing us a little bit of sparseness in those treasure chests.
Yeah, and I would say at least as it goes right now, maybe like an 80% sparseness. Haven't seen enough chests to kind of get that figured out, but definitely sparseness here, and that can really reduce the amount of loot you're going to be able to find in chests. Our runners not checking shops, just going straight over to see if there's free characters. We have Soap checking Mistcave, not going to forget about that. And deciding to take a random encounter here. Do the dupe glitch.
Rosa hanging out over on Karan's side in the watery pass. So we do have free characters available.
Rosa, oh, that's going to be nice. So we've got a bunch of characters out there. We don't know if it's relaxed yet. We know it's at least standard. So we find an edge or a foo in the overworld. Oh, hey, guess what's here? We got our gauntlet.
If you're looking for your ZZ5 kind of blend with Pink Puff League tonight, you're getting it, because this is definitely one thing you want to do in that also. You definitely want to check that Mist Cave, and if you have boss objectives, and there we've got one. Also, one thing I noticed, I think Soapbox reset out of that random encounter, so we might have he can't run on.
Yeah, and that's something to think about, like taking a boss encounter here to maybe do the dupe glitch with your cane would be something that you can do as well, because you can do it in any particular time. So I'm sitting here casting Fire 1 to get through these. Might be a little bit faster to use something like the Stardust Rod that we have. And realizes, oh yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a thing. Hey, better late than never pulling it out of the item bag there.
But, you know, Soapbox making quick work here of this alt gauntlet. It's the easiest place it can possibly be. Too bad it wasn't at the Masamune altar for the double objectives. Kind of sad on that. But we also know it's Neki because, well, we have very little gear on our party. Start off with the dwarf kit, actually, it looks like, because we get the 10 rune rings, so a little bit of lolly-ho in here, too.
Oh,
and Soap finishes.
10 rune rings was amazing with that dwarf kit. Really good for starting cash, as well as just to you can equip them on most characters.
We see Soapbox going in here again, and maybe it was for setting up the inventory for doing the dupe glitch. And there we go, 2 to 2 to 2. See, if you look at your hands there, you think it's left side is 1, right side is 2. You just go bottom to top, top to bottom, and dupe glitch is not on.
Yeah, if I remember looking at the notes, I don't think it had very high odds of being on, but definitely a chance, and you want to check for it, because that can just break your game wide open.
Oh, definitely, especially if you have like wild shops and you can find something to dart with an early edge. You can really progress things here. Meanwhile, in Karan's we find a Dancing Dagger and a Blizzard Spear. So Kane's got some early nice weaponry there for some AoE, and in a full moon. Treasures, I'm thinking standard, but there's a little bit of me that says wildish. I'm not thinking pro because we found the full moon there in Damsian, which is not something you generally do find in pro.
Crystal armor in that Damsian basement too, which makes me think wildish, although I can't remember off the top of my head which tier it is.
My runners may have tried to press B. We don't know if the push B to flag is on. That's something that you can check in the overworld. You just jump around, and that can also really break your game. Oh, looks like Xenocat says that push B to jump is impossible. There was no section for that in the YAML, so not going to be jumping around. Making a quick dive over here to check some more free characters, maybe some shops. See, rune ring. Well, we know it's not free shops. That kind of hurts a little bit. See what the item shop here has. Oh, we know J items are on, so that's good. They're gonna be selling some rune rings here. I don't believe it's S-Core, so it's just full. Everything sells for full price.
Yeah, nothing telling me that it's wild at all, because those look like kind of the standard level, standard overworld level J items in that shop.
Yeah, those are pretty standard. Well, hey, we found our Sid.
Yep.
Sitting here with another Rosa.
Yeah, character objectives and the free characters can be an easy win for you if you make sure to check them all.
It looks like we have a max size party of 5. Something that you can else as well do, because there's also a chance in this fight set for a C hero. You can actually try to dismiss your starting character, and if you can't, you know that C hero's on before you even hit ordeals. The other way is if you leave your starting character taking a nap and they get experience while they're taking their good old nap, then you also know it's C hero. So a couple different ways we can see for that particular flag. We got Edward Hero with the Mega Sisters. Not a fight you really want to take on early on. You can easily get through it with our daggers and Stardust Rod, but I think maybe a little bit better to just we can leave them there. Looks like the sparseness really hit Antlion here. The first couple chests are just empty, so maybe even 70% for that.
Yeah, 3 out of 8 in the public treasury too is making me lean towards the lower end of sparse there.
Yeah, I think on most mystery YAMLs, unless you're doing something like a lit 3, it's usually that most people go as 50%. And that one you can easily tell. Looks like we got Kainazo here. This is going to be a quick fight on Soapbox's side.
Yeah, if I'm a runner, I love seeing the turtle here. Very easy to take out. You don't have to worry about him in the super rude spots later in the game. Especially with that HP-based wave attack.
Oh, yeah, definitely the 5 to 7% of his total HP remaining. It can really sneak up on you. Grant also seeing the Edward with the Mega Sisters and decides to, nope, they can stay there. And we get another free key item check. It is Adamant. No way underground just yet. We don't know. It's too early to tell whether or not something like K-Trapped or K-Summon or even K-Moon is on. We've already got our one quote-unquote Zonk item is the Stardust Rod. If it is just K-Main. As soon as we find another one, or even like another 2, we know for a fact that there's some other form of key item gating a location. Which it is. Who knows right now?
Yeah, I think with the YAML, pretty good odds of it being main summon moon. There's very, very, very small chance. I think like 1 in 100 of K-Trap being on. So, not likely, but not out of the realm of possibility.
Oh no, you can always hit that 1%er sometimes, and it just sneaks up on you. Yeah, it looks like it was a 67% chance for Summon, 77% for Moon, and a good old 1% chance for that K-Trap. Where are you thinking our particular runners are going to go next in this particular situation? We've got Baron, Fabul, and Ordeals on the table right now.
Pretty tough call. I don't know. I've got that Tella, I've got a start as well. So that's kind of hard to say. We're tempted to go probably Ordeals to power up the Tella. I don't have any super strong power to take on the Baron just yet, other than that Stardust Rod, which, depending on the flag sets, I may or may not take that fight, but it's just Stardust Rod alone is not really my favorite place to put myself in, but Soapbox seems to be going for that.
Yeah, well, we've got Odin, we've got another Kane, we got an Ogre Axe, so there's some extra spicy items here for that Kane. And we see another item shop. Pretty standardized shops. Haven't found anything to really tell us. As far as we know, it's could be any of them.
Waiting to get a look at that buy menu, although now Necron's changing gear out, so may not be getting them. Oh, there we go. Ether 2.
Ether 2 is going to be on the overworld.
Yeah,
standard
Ether 2
shops
doesn't mean
pro.
anything.
Even with the Dwarf Axe, I think it's either going to be standard or wild at this point, because I think that Dwarf Axe would technically be gated if it was pro. Well, looks like Crown's going here to the Fabul defense, so we get to see another boss spot here, and just some good old Kaipo guards, another free fight. Us as viewers and commentators, we love seeing all these early fights, the easy fights early on, because that means there could be some nasty stuff here on the moon.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've got Soapbox checking on that Baron end, making sure work of that Odin. Let's see if we get an interesting fight. Having two sources of damage now makes this second fight a little less dicey. Oh, it's the other set of guards.
Well, I mean, at French Vanilla, this is still a relatively easy fight. In retrospect, we can, pop a Star Veil up and reflect back the size or piggy to them. We've got Tella, we have stop. Ooh, we found a hook. So we have possible underground access here. Is it going to be a hook route, or is that magma key sitting behind something like Val on Ordeals? And yes, using items still triggers the counter from the guard. So using the Dancing Dagger, well, it does do a bit of damage, you can still get countered.
Yeah, and punching that Tella down. Sorry.
Yeah, for this particular...
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
So it's...
Punching the Tella down, yeah, definitely kind of takes away some damage there with the Stardust Rod.
Yeah, at least I believe we have rune rings on at least Palom here. These are considered mages, so is able to take a little bit of extra hits, but goes down. And oh well, about that Val.
Well, at least we know Ordeals cannot have the magma key.
Well, no, it can. It can still have the magma key. We have the hook from Fabul, which could be our logical underground access. The magma key could still possibly be here. We have a king. This is a spot we can actually use magic, so we can use the Stardust Rod as an item, or even Tella. Take a little bit, but it can be done. What I was going to say about that particular Baron spot, you don't want a slow anchor. And on Soapbox side, we have the Dwarfax Sid. Sid generally is really slow, and adding the Dwarfax really slows them down. So those guards are just super fast. Oh, Recall's Fatal. Not the spell you want to see with Val. And Val is down on Karan's side. What is the back attack?
All by Karan to take a safety save after kind of encountering the Val here. You don't want the back-to-back rudeness.
So to answer your question, Chad, so the reason having a slow anchor for those Baron fights is you're giving the enemy more turns. If you have a fast anchor in those spots, you're actually slowing the enemy down. So there's certain situations to where you want a fast anchor to slow the enemy down versus having a slow anchor to boost your power up. And, well, no fourth wave. Free bosses are on. The DKC is talking about his good old justice spiel.
Justice indeed. Rybon in chat is pretty spot on with the very simplified version that works for pretty much 90% of situations. If the spot's slow, you want a fast anchor. If the spot's fast, you want a slow anchor. Indeed, you want to counter with kind of the opposite setup of the agility of the enemy.
Right, and a general overview is 90% of the overworld, Baron, Antlion, Mist, Fabul, most of Ordeals, you want a fast anchor. That's going to give you the most amount of turns with your party. But it's not Sea Hero, as we have our entire party here. And we found a Sand Ruby here, so could be a nice character, and just the dimps. Another free fight out of the way.
So now we know we are not in Sea Hero because the entire party is taking on the Dark Imps and not just Satella.
Yeah. As soon as you actually hit the door, the entire party would have actually stood back and watched Tella enter the room by himself.
Yeah, even with the Zonk, I still like Ordeals here because honestly, we have a hook route coming up. We really want all the experience and tele power up we can get. So even if we have a total Zonk here, this is still a good play in my book.
Baron Inn's still out there. We have all of Tella's spells now, so now we could try to do a stone cast on those Baron guards. Can check that Sand Ruby on Karan's side, maybe find like an edge or maybe a foo. What are you, so with it being a 50-50 right now of being a hook route, what bosses are you hoping to be on that hook route?
Well, might not be able, probably more than likely we can't have a Golbez.
Yeah, can't have Golbez because that would put the Magma Key at Twin Harp or through Twin Harp.
So beyond that, I kind of like seeing, if I'm a runner, I like seeing a Water Hag at that Rubicante spot.
And Karan, even with the Sand Ruby going straight to Baron Inn, may save here and then go check. Nope, just saving and entering into town. Yeah, I mean, It's all depending on what we don't know any of the other flags for where the key items could be. And when you get underground, it's really where you need to decide. Do you go Dwarf 1? Do you go to Feymarch to see if there's any free bosses there, like Water Hag or something like Plague? You know, it's still all up in the air. Now Crown's going in for his first run in here with the Baron Guards.
Yeah. Also, though, not knowing, the YAML does not, I don't think, has any options enabled for either of the force flags. So most runners here, not knowing what option is forced, probably still going to go end up with a twin heart check before the hook route dive.
Yeah, it is. Some people's like, do everything you possibly can before going down the hook route, because you never know if you can actually find that particular magma key somewhere oddball. If you don't have to go out on the hook route, more power to you. And we know that free key item is on, so we're not on a demist hunt, which demist being at King Queen can be a little sneaky hiding boss. Ooh, HP ran out. Love to see that. And, ooh, darkness. Well, okay.
Yeah, I think I missed seeing that the first time around when I think Soapbox took on the Baron Guard.
Soap did not get through the fight.
Oh.
Soap did not get through the fight. Took the wipe and just went straight over to Ordeals going, I'm not going to keep at this. I'm going to go somewhere else. Maybe get some more power, get some more spells, and come back at a later time. But now we've got 3 different gated characters on our side here. We've got Darkness, Standard, and the Hook route. We've got 2 mages on the table. We know where ethers are. We know possibly where life potions are. When you find another mage, we could be in a bit of a grind here for our party here.
Oh, and Karat's going to be happy. Wait a minute. Wait, Karat. No, Karat. Go back. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you see the boss. Oh, no, it's a gauntlet reset. Oh, wait, I need that for an objective. Hold on a second.
What, picked up an Earth Hammer for the Sith. That'll help with this particular spot.
Wow, all those AoEs, like using the Blizzard Spear, Flame Spear, Earth, Stardust, all going to be really useful for this fight, since the monsters have such little HP. Soapbox getting through the ordeals without an issue. Now it's his choice where he needs to go. Does he go to Fabul, or does he go right back into that Baron infight with all of those spells on Tela now?
Yeah, with the Tele power up, you have a little bit more firepower at your disposal. Not really what I would kind of set up there. If it's me, I'm going to try to put Tele in that back row, protect him, and have him fire off blinks, and maybe have Palom kind of start channeling that Stardust Rod. Maybe get Rosa to fire a mute off.
So I'm getting some extra Cure 2s here. I'm not picking up any ethers just yet, but knows where they are for sale. And it's the grind everybody knows, and some people are kind of against the wonderful D machine grind where you can get all the experience you ever need for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, it's definitely an effective grind. I'm one of those folks that's not the biggest fan of the D machine. I don't even mind watching other runners do it in tournaments, especially when it's like, okay, it's the fast, effective thing. It's just not my cup of tea, and I've been trying to figure out why. I mean, it's just as effective as eggs if if you have the right setup.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. To me, it's always a toss up on if I'm gonna do a D machine grind or not. If I've got a party of mages, and I want nuke on like Rydia and Palom, or white on Porum and Rosa, then I'm thinking I'm gonna go more towards the D machine because of the slingshot and get all the experience I need. If I've got Zerkers, I'm just gonna go through the rest of the seed and get the experience I get throughout and finish up with eggs. They're both relatively the same. One can give you a bit of an edge up, but then you have to make the hard choice of, okay, now I've got the levels. Do I go to the moon versus going down the hook route? And that's where it can be the biggest difference. Yes, you could D-machine grind. You go to the moon, and the moon's completely empty. I don't, and I go underground, and hey, I find all the objectives, do some sirens, and now I'm technically ahead. So it's always a toss-up for that. And we just find a Yang here sleeping, as he normally does.
Yeah, not really. Take a yawn.
I'm hoping Garan saved after doing that gauntlet before resetting out of Kaipo. I think he did. Let's just hope.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if he did. Oh goodness.
We found our cabins. Because I know he saved beforehand, but whether or not he saved after, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, with these shops, we've checked enough. It's either standard or pro, but I'm thinking it's standard shops. Once Soapbox here actually hits the Evelyn shop, we'll know for sure 100%. The Evelyn shop here, if it's standard, is always going to have 2 tier 5 items. If Janet and both Leviathan and Hourglass 2s are tier 5. So that tells us right there, we know it's standard shops.
Yep, and that also makes the guard fight that Soapbox was struggling with a lot more free.
Oh, it definitely makes a lot of things a lot more free. Like, it also opens up like doing gold dragons on the moon. We've got Tello with weak. We can do that and life glitch some extra enemies there. Hope decided to do some extra looting here. There's still a chance of vanilla traps being on, so taking some risk here, looting chests along the way. There's only one trap chest in here in Evelyn. And looks like done risking it. I'm just going to go on. I don't want to have to rebuy all those items. And, well, that's a pretty free hook, or at least for the King-Queen spot. We got a Cecil now.
Now, here's the real fun question. Have we done enough looting to think it might be T Wildish? And if it's T Wildish, you definitely want to go check those Evelyn trap chests.
T Wildish, T Pro. Even then, like, I've got a Cecil. I'm going straight to Evelyn. Get 3 trap chests there. Even with standard chests, you can still get some pretty decent equipment from that location. And it's also giving your Cecil levels. But it looks like on Kurant's side, we are doing the D machine grind. Soap also realizing that that chest in there being empty means that it's randomized trap chests.
Wait, so
maybe on the hunt for the Staleman.
So do we have Kurant going D machine grind before we've checked this hook character and and the Cecil is getting left in that cave. Oh boy.
I mean, Cecil doesn't need a lot of experience to really get powerful. And even then, like, we have the slingshot capability for him, so he's going to be 5 under the mean of the party for quite some time. So every single fight we get into, if Karan takes him, just going to be skyrocketing in experience.
Yeah, that's also a good point. But yeah, Rosa and Palom with full spell lists they're just going to blow up the seed anyway.
I didn't see any particular mention of the slingshot being on or off in the little thing that Escrunt put together.
Yeah, taking
and I believe
look. I don't see the no boost is not in here.
Yeah, looks like Karan may have found the particular fight he was looking for. And so now we have some grinding on. Well, first of all, it's going to be the beamers, and also get to see if the life glitch is on, because that's something else. Like, if you don't have the life glitch on, it can make the grind a little bit longer to do. So Y2, what is a life glitch? What is it?
So a life glitch is something that occurs due to programming the game with something called the vitality stat. If you've checked the stat screens on your characters before, you'll notice that they have one. Whenever a character gets raised by the Life 1 spell, I believe they receive like some amount of HP multiplied by that vitality stat. All enemies in the game have a vitality stat of 0. However, the act of raising the enemy when hit by a life spell or potion still occurs. So what happens is that life spell hits the enemy slot after it dies, and then the enemy just immediately dies again because it has 0 HP, and therefore you get 2 kills for the price of 1.
Yeah. And with that, basically what it is, it's 5 HP per vitality. Karan using life potions on the enemies and it not doing anything. Life glitch is off. So no free experience.
Looking at my notes, that was only a 1 in 5 chance of that being off too. Ouch.
Yeah, so the free experience, that pushes me to. I'm not gonna do the D machine. It's gonna take twice as long. I'm good. But we'll see if it pays out for Karan. You never know. So making some choices here. Not exactly sure. Looks like gonna be raising the whale here. Maybe checking that moon character. Maybe even the moon shop. Find some sirens.
Yeah.
You have those 2 objectives there on the moon.
Yeah, you do have 2 objectives on the moon. And that was what was on my mind too. And there's a lot of chat going back and forth about the D-money play. I like it overall. I maybe would have just exhausted my character options first. That's really the only thing here that I'm looking at. It's not a bad play. You go knock out 2 more objectives. You may find the magma key and just skip this hook route altogether.
Yeah. And we're looking for Golbez. And with what we know so far, the hook route is our logical underground access, so we know that Golbez can't be there. All we have left is the twin harp, so deciding to do this a little bit of a grind, maybe check moon spots, complete some moon objectives, may find the Golbez, and be able to power through that hook route quite easy. Looks like Soaps are going to be here checking the Hummingway shop. Find some Bacchus. May end up selling some things here.
Stack of wine is a good pickup when you've got a Kane and a Cecil on your team.
That is very true. Yeah, and seeing that full moon sell for 6K, it's not SL quarter. I was a little up in the air on that when we sold the 6 or so of the rune rings. Selling the one full moon there for half price definitely tells it there.
Yeah, that's a little bit easier than seeing the one shot of several rune rings. Computating plus math is not my strong suit. Hence why I was explaining the vitality stat in non-numeric terms.
Yeah, that's one thing. Usually you want to know a few items, what their actual sell price is. Therefore, you can tell if it's escort. And we found Iridia here on the moon. Perfect slingshot character because she needs a lot of experience to get to nuke.
Yeah, and that's also our second source of nuke in the sea. I would really be kind of just heartbroken if I did, doing a D machine grind and then finding Cecil and a second source of nuke afterwards.
I wonder if Soap's going to be doing. Oh, Soap going for the critically acclaimed Opossum strat of going for the hair dryers with the Cecil. Decent amount of influx of experience, has the Hourglass 2s, and may actually find a decent piece of equipment for the Cecil.
I like display while you're up here. You go up here and check the character, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let's check some hair dryers.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of experience. Tella taking the hit there kind of hurts. Tella did have the Hourglass 2 queued up. Trying for a run buffer here, give some extra time for Tella to get that Hourglass 2 off. And we got one character down. He's got to hope for, and hey, there it goes. Oh, I bet Soap is completely relieved right now of that Hourglass 2 going off.
Yeah, I'm also curious of Soap's agility situation with that Tella going first.
Yeah, we're just gonna zerk up the Cecil here with the Ice Brand and just let him go to town. Soap does not know whether or not the life glitch is on yet or off, so just sitting here waiting to use a life potion on one of these hair dryers.
Yeah,
not a bad idea.
Ribbon-Quest is wondering about the stone attempt, and I don't think Soapbox has had an opportunity to check the life glitch yet.
Yep. Can't life when you stone them. Ooh. One too many menus over to the left for the life potion. And there we go. Soap's about to find that it is off. It's kind of interesting when you can actually use the life 1 spell on a character to try and do the life glitch, but your characters can actually miss casting life. So it's like, is it on? Is it off? Did my character just miss the life? Life potion always 100% to hit. If the life glitch is off, you don't see anything happen. So
Yep. Moment of truth here, though. You're gonna get anything spicy in this chest? Just some arty arrows.
yeah, arty hours are not bad. And we got Quack and the Quack Kid. Got Cecil a bunch of levels.
If one of those two hook bosses happens to be a dragon, the arty arrows will come in very handy.
I feel like the arty hours can still help with the egg grind or taking on some gold dragons, even though we don't have the life glitch on. But going, nope, I'm done here on the moon. I'm going back to the blue planet. I want to go down this hook route, or even check Evelyn. Because if you can find like that shiny sword, we all say Cecil go Burr.
Yeah, it just makes such a huge difference in what you can do and how you execute a seed. It's most if you know you're on T Wildish, it's most required to dive Evelyn to try and get that extra power.
Ooh, Soap making a big divergence here. Going to check music. Definitely has the power with the melee characters. Wants to check the last thing possible and also check in the Choco Butt.
Yep, I am definitely appreciating for picking our restreamed runners tonight if that was the case, because we've gotten some runners that are willing to make some spicy plays, and I love it.
Oh, definitely. There is a chance for it to be just 3 objectives being required. Or no, the lowest is 4. Commander, it is lowest of 4. It's a 1% chance of it being just 4 objectives required.
Yeah, that Twin Harp is an objective too. I missed that one looking at it. So yeah, definitely a do your objective situation for sure.
Yeah, well, if we find like the rat tail here, and the rat tail is our 4th objective, and all of a sudden we're in a panic go mode. That's always a fun one to have of, oh no, I'm in go mode, what do I do now? We do know it's a wind crystal, Ribbon. We know at the very beginning what our flags are and whether or not it's wind game or wind crystal. So we know it's a wind crystal. We do have to fight Z. We just don't know how many objectives we have to complete to get our crystal. I can't remember if our runner's actually scrolled or not.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to watch that when we were doing our intro, and I did not catch it. So yeah, I didn't see for sure. So maybe we saw somewhere else.
I could be wrong. Maybe it could be win game. But time for us to be quiet while we let the music play here. And Soap is through the Twin Harp, and it looks like chat may have decided to cheat a little bit and tell us that it's Wind Crystal here. And ooh, Vanilla. We find our Earth Crystal.
Yeah, Earth Crystal enables us to do almost our whole overworld before the hook route.
Yeah, well, it also opens up our favorite game of Rank That Treasury too. I haven't looted a whole lot, at least on Soap side, so looting this treasury could be some spicy stuff in there. And it looks like on Karat's side, we are done with the grind. The week has hit. The Searcher. And we're taking out the Tella. Reviving the Sid. And we will have all the experience.
Rank That Treasury!
There's a little bit sparse out.
Yeah, I mean, nothing too grand in here. Charm Rod about the best thing in there. We already know our Hourglass 2s are for sale.
If we get T standard, that really looked like a T standard treasury to me.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor treasury in the grand scheme of things. Poison Axe. Ooh. We got some money armor if we really wanted it. So I mean, we've got all the money we need.
Yeah, that treasury puts me like 95% on T standard at that point.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit. Yeah, so to mention for Dumpster Player R2 in the chat, yeah, so there's a flag called T-Sparse. There is a percentage of chests that are just completely empty. So somebody already half rated that treasury for us. Maybe they stole the good gear and just left what they didn't want. That's always my thought. Somebody was already here before me.
Is going on to check the boss fight. So okay, Lunar Smurf. Okay, I think we were checking for the Golbez. Now there is a 1 in 4 chance this is a vanilla giant. I did not see the dialogue that said you had to return, so it's probably not.
Yeah, there was no dialogue from the first person for it to be vanilla giant. If it was, the person you talk to go to the giant goes, yes, I can take you to the giant, but you cannot return here. You have to get through it. But that was a vanilla last arm chest. Walking out of the giant, maybe picking up some loot along the way. You can warp out of here, actually. For those of you that don't know, warping out of the giant is quite quick.
Yeah, I was unaware I could warp out of the giant the first season I was playing, so.
Yeah, a lot of those little things you never think about when you play vanilla of warping out of certain locations because you just couldn't. There was no point of warping out of the giant because you couldn't leave. And we have a good old Karate here blocking our Zot. He's got to wait for the second kick to pop up here, and Cecil will go swing. He'll go ouch. And also being nice enough to take out Artella. So we still have a decent anchor. It is not T shuffle.
There is a 1% chance that it is, but in the YAML, however, we've seen too many random items. Like we wouldn't find a crystal armor popping up in the trap chest.
Right. If you find a when you're looting regular chests, if you see a lot of curative items like cure 1s, cure 2s, ethers, like that's all you're looting from chests, then you know it's T shuffle. But finding like poison axe and hey, we found an edge.
Soapbox gonna be feeling a little bad about selling those full moons at this point.
You only sold one.
Oh,
And all you need is one to back row.
Edge may start with. We still may want two.
Right. How about a second edge?
Or we could just get 2 edges, yeah.
And crowd here seeing the Rydia up here might be looking, going, I could have had 2 nuke casters. Yeah, now comes the hard choice of who do I ditch from this party to take this edge? Getting rid of one king, getting rid of a Tella as well, keeping the Palom, because there's a 50-50 of the Warp Glitch being on. So, still have that on the table.
Yeah, this one's a hook rod a little scary because now your agility situation is a little Palom's got some levels. I mean, not a ton, or well, he's got enough levels for Quake, so it's enough to get that agility up there to make it problematic on the hook rod.
I mean, we've got 2 edges. We've got Cecil. I'm me personally, I'm not too worried about that hook route. I'm gonna have enough power and armor to really not worry too much. It looks like we have the dance party here at the top of Zot. Is there a chance for vanilla agility? Ooh, just a 2% chance of vanilla agility, so Cecil could be our anchor still.
Yeah, and Xenocat reminded me, Soap knows Ruby Spot is KQ. Still would be some rudeness at that actual KQ spot.
Yeah, like we could have an evil wall, we could have a D-Mist, could have...
Ogo?
Yeah, I could have an Ogo there. Anything really punchy at that first spot can really just kind of hurt a little bit. But Soap getting through that Mylon and Friends without an issue. Cecil was not level 1 on Soap's side for the hair dryers. It was maybe level 3 or 4 or 5. He had about 700 so on HP.
Yeah, even if Cecil was level 1, level 1 Cecil Paladin has 13 agility.
Well, we found our Golbas here on the moon. And just an apple from Zot, so we know our hook route is our way underground.
So Karan's play all of a sudden could be huge. This Golbez being objective 3 for Karant. Then we know we have the other 2 that are given. We're breaking into those possible required number required number choices.
Well, the thing is it is both Golbez and White Spear, so this is 2 objectives done at once.
Yeah, Karant could get his crystal now.
And definitely has the levels to fight Z at this point, so this could be like, hey, you took the gamble of going to the moon, here's your crystal. And I always love huge gambles like this. This is my style of playing. Throws to getting the wall off, gonna be able to make this Golbez free.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty when those gambles pay off. excited to see if it does. Meanwhile, Soapbox gets a masa for one of the edges out of one of the Avalon trap chests.
Hey, that's a nice upgrade. Let's get all the Hanzo steel. Not exactly what you're hoping for with this party, but you'll take it as a consolation prize. Going in for some more here. There's 2 more trap chests. Bros are just taking it out on Golbez, hitting for quad 9s with that white.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that Starville holds on long enough to finish the job. Without a lot of magic power, though, it's gonna take Golbez a while, even if the Starville does come on. But yeah, I would have liked trying it out. Nope, we've got Y's coming out, and we're fine.
Yep. Why? Well, you're not very fun. You take forever. That's why. So Golbez is done, and oh well, about that crystal sword.
Oh my!
And we did not get the crystal.
Please get the actual crystal, and I'm gonna feel so bad for Karat. He can't. Oh goodness.
Oh well, okay. We got 2 objectives done here, both Golbez and the White Spear. On Karan's side, we haven't done the harp, so there's number 5. We have the Masamune altar. Going in for the ribbon room here.
Did we ever figure out if Karat actually mistakenly reset out of that full gauntlet pickup?
No, just a lit one. Not a very scary wyvern. Hey, those Artemis arrows are coming quite nice and handy here.
Yeah, they would. I don't think Karat has those though. I think those are on Soap's side.
Yeah, those are on Soap's side. But we really are just gonna be throwing out some nukes and whites here. Wyvern's gonna be hitting quite decently hard, but with our HP here, So we've to answer Ruben here, we know at least that the hook route is our logical underground access. So magma could be up here on the moon. We just haven't taken on too many particular moon spots to let us know whether or not it is K-Moon or not. Hope using the flame from edge to be able to get through the skeletons to the stalemate skeleton chest. Very heads up play there.
Well, Wyvern hit Paladin twice in a row. A little bit rude on Karat's side there.
I missed the item there on Soap's side. Oh, right. The gauntlet save. Oof, yeah, that's something we don't know. We cannot remember. And Wyvern just having it out for Karat here.
Yeah, I got a free pass on the opening blarg, but yeah, that you can just start chaining nukes so fast.
Yeah, once you lose a few party members, he just gets even faster, and sometimes it's hard to recover there. But going in for the next objective here at the Masamune altar.
Yeah, I
Let's
like
see
this.
what's
Let that dragon sit there and stew for a minute. And let's go look at our objective.
Well, Ruby here, you think Ruby, you don't think the Fire 2s, the glares are going to hurt very hard. Well, yeah, about that. The Moss Moon Elder has quite high magic, so these are going to hit quite hard.
Yeah, but Perron's very well positioned for this fight. Should just have to manage the glares and the punches. Kane should have a Blizzard Spear, I think, from Damsian and can jump. So we might be okay here.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the counter Fire 2s when we jump or when we're casting spells. Just a matter of managing the life roulette with the glares that come out.
And if you feel yourself starting to fall behind, if you're able to get some fire magic off on Ruby himself, he will life one your entire party.
Kron here going for a little bit spicy here of boxing up the Sid. Gonna have to deal with those Fire 2 counters. Sid's got a big hefty health pool. And, well, there goes Ruby. And, well, Luka Key here means that K-Moon is on. Well, if Karan saved after the Alt Gauntlet at Mist Cave, we know it's at least 6 objectives. Still a chance for 7 or even all of them being required. But that does put that Wyvern back into a bit of a spicy check, having 2 possible key items there in those chests. So may want to try a second shot of getting through that Wyvern to see if there's any extra value there. Not that we need the 100,000 experience there, but deciding, nope, I'm done. I'm gonna go check this Twin Harp possibly and see if I get my crystal. And with the possibility of needing fewer objectives, not a bad play. You've gotten, at least in your mind, all the value you can on the moon. You've got your guaranteed objectives and your boss. Let's go somewhere else that we know that is guaranteed going to reward us.
Yep, and if you're just not quite there yet, you pretty much blow up the hook route in the underground at the levels that you have.
And while Soap deciding he's going to go check on this hook route here, let's see what's sitting here at the King-Queen spot. Is it that evil wall? Is it that demist? Those fights that can just really hurt. Grant on his way to go give us wonderful encore of music. And if he decides to go down the hook route, gonna be looking at that Cecil going, I have a crystal sword for you, but I have all my levels. What Mom Bomb here. This is a quite punchy boss.
Yeah, this could be a tough one here, especially without like the power level to really to get past the explosion phase. If we can live long enough and get Pelham queued up, we might be able to make it. But yeah, we have to live through quite a few punches to get there.
Yeah, on Soaps, I would probably make sure that Cecil is in the back row to be able to do a cover Cecil. We've got enough defensive gear for him. He can take the hits, and once people get into critical status, just auto cover them. But once we actually get Mom Bomb to explode here and get the little bomblets, a Quake from Palom, or even an Hourglass 2 will easily make that free.
Yeah, that makes the critical cover strat just a bit dicey because your characters, your Palom in particular, needs to live through the explosion. But we've got there. Still not seeing. Okay, we're queuing up flames.
Yeah, to see the 1200 from one of those bomblets there on that edge.
Yeah, maybe would have cycled through those edges and just try to queue that Quake up. That's the shot you want. With the bomblets down, our path to the pitfall is now a freebie because that is a French vanilla king and queen, and no matter where they are, they will only do upwards of maybe 60 to 70 damage a pop with the fire 2, and the queen shoots out an even weaker fire 1. My apologies, I just realized I talked through onboard music, so sorry about that. But one thing I do catch is that we've got 6, maybe 5, depending on that reset situation. 6 objectives lit up and still no crystal for Karant.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We'll have to see if and when we get the tails. If it can always come as a surprise to you when you're running that you turn the last 2 objectives, you don't get your crystal, and you go, what am I missing? And then you check your little track screen and you're like, oh no. With all the trap chests that Soap has cleared, we cleared out all of Eblin Cave, and the hook route. I don't think the K trap is on. Yeah, not last arm as well. So we haven't been underground yet. All we know for the key items is that it's K Moon and K Main. All we know. We haven't checked the summon spot, never checked the K value. Just getting our first checks here for like the Fame Arch. Hope you're going straight to Fame Arch, gonna grab the freebies.
So much now underground. Trying to think, typical. What do you do in this situation, knowing you're just kind of so it's got the darkness crystal. So what are you doing underground aside from getting your freebies here?
Well, in Soap's side, I'm gonna be looking for shops at Sirens. I'm gonna be checking some boss locations. We know that Dwarf 2 is not our actual bosses that we need. We can check the Fame Arch bosses here. Maybe there's a free fight of like Water Hag or even like Plague. You can easily take those out and see if it's summoned. Then go over to Dwarf. Get some more possible guaranteed key items since the K-Main check the warp. And as soon as you find something like the Pink Tail, because we did find the Rat Tail there, I'm geared to go to that moon. Going, I've got 2 objectives on the moon. Maybe I can also find my boss up there. There's Demas and there's Antlion. That's a no from me.
I think we have a vanilla rat tail that is lit up on Soapbox's side now.
Yeah, vanilla rat tail. So it's more for me. It's like get my quick key item checks out of the way, which would be Dwarf and Sheila 1. I can turn the rat tail. Maybe it's the infamous rat tail into pink tail check. That's always a fun one. Well, to answer your question, mentioned about the vanilla pink tail. So with the randomizer, the pink tails no longer drop from the pink puffs in the pink puff room. There is no actual vanilla pink tail location in Free Enterprise. The rat tail would actually have turned into the adamant if it was vanilla. Which, of course, we already have the shiny rock.
And yep, so prepping for the dive into Dwarf Castle and gonna check that warp glitch. Setting, even going so far as to setting the warp spell in the right location.
Yeah, because you never want to forget about that warp glitch. 50-50 of it being on.
Even if you do and start walking out of a few rooms, as long as you keep it within reason and you don't actually walk out of the castle, you can sometimes warp back into the crystal room. I've done that before, just thinking about shopping, and hit the got into the item shop and thought, oh no, oh heck, and then 3 casts of warp later, and I was back in the crystal room.
Yeah, so to kind of compound onto that, as we have a water hag here at Dwarf 1, if your warp caster starts taking a nap or is out of MP, you can actually go stay at the inn. You just have to do a couple extra warps. As long as you don't actually leave Dwarf, either through the tower exits or through the main entrance, you can still warp. Just every doorway you walk through, you have to do an extra warp cast. And current going, there's no value in this hook route. I'm going back to the moon. And, at least in Karan's mind, perfectly viable play. He knows that K-Moon is on. Doesn't know about K-Summon if it's on or not. Going somewhere that there's a chance that you're going to get something. Definitely a good play to do.
Yeah, and this is more like committing to the overall strategy, right? You've got the moon access. You are close on objectives. Just see if you can just dodge that whole underground altogether.
So, how do you like 3 edges? I don't think we found enough equipment for all of our edges here.
Yeah, I start worrying about gearing up a second edge, or even sometimes even just 1 edge, depending on the flags. But yeah, 3 is just, maybe on like supermarket sweep or something.
Yeah, something like long swords are perfectly fine for edge, and in standard shops you can find those in the overworld. Because you go from about 10k a sword to 66 when you buy the ninja sword. So long sword's perfectly fine for an edge. Passing on Palom's turn, a Quake would have easily taken out this CPU here as the HP split all the way through. No, Xeno, don't do that. Don't do S cabins. And we have a Mylon Z here. And I believe it's the Murasame altar.
Yeah, we're not going top down now to kind of check some of these other spots.
Mylon is just punching away at our party here. We've got just our casters up. Checking the warp. And oh, warp glitch is on. And we find the legend sword. And oh, on Karan's side we find an adamant armor. Adamant armors are on. So that pigtail turns into an adamant armor now.
Yeah, so we've got potential for 2, and if anybody remembers the adamant comp runs, we know how powerful that adamant armor is and how much it can turn the seed on its head. And yeah, definitely put that on your melees to kind of get them contributing to the damage here.
Yeah, so we also found the Baron key on Soap's side. A couple more boss checks, a couple more key item checks. But I'm wondering about that forge. At least on Soap's side, we have the Cecil. We don't have a shiny stick for him. If it's just a regular forge, an Excal is a perfectly fine item for that Cecil. You know, if Super Smith's on, you're looking at like the Lightbringer, you're looking at Piggy Stick, even a Gigantax would be really nice. And just also the shop there could be really nice to have something good. Maybe a white shirt. Power shirts would be good.
Yeah, I tend to, especially if I've got a melee party, I tend to forage more often than not, even just to get a crack at that shop if I don't have a lot of good gear. And there we go, Zeus gauntlets and power shirts.
Hey, that's a berserker shop if I've ever saw one. And we have Karani here going to the Crystal Sword altar, completing the top down.
And we've got the X-Cow on Soapbox's side, so it is not Super Smith, it is the normal forge. Which in Soapbox's situation hasn't gone to the moon yet, so hasn't found that crystal sword. So an X-Cal is a good boost here. There's our evil wall on Karat's side. But
Ooh, there's the evil wall.
yeah,
This is also another punchy spot.
punchy, but lower HP than some of the other moon spots because that's normally where the wyvern sits. So hopefully Palom and Rosa will be able to chew through this before it does too much damage.
Yeah, the evil wall does cheat the ATB system, so it gets a couple extra turns. It's not a very nice boss to fight. So up here, going for the free key item of the Sheila 1 check.
Yep, and nothing else on Karat's side. If you if that Kane lives to the crush phase, then the rest of the fight's free because Kane is wearing the adamant armor.
Oh, well, yeah, finding that armor is perfect because you don't have to worry about crush anymore. Angry Moon is angry. We've got all the fun bosses up here. Soap deciding to go to Baron Inn first, it looks like. Baron proper, I should say. With that Baron key. And oh, there's the pink tail.
And the pink tail puts us as commentators in chat in no mode. So Rat Tail is vanilla at the Fame March, and Karan still hasn't completed the hook route to get underground for that. But then the Pink Tail is up on the moon, so now we know everywhere our runners need to check to win this seed.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting there for our runners. Correct, just gonna go right back towards this Wyvern with the Abbot armor. Should be able to get through this quite faster. To answer your question, enchant ribbons are immune to crush. The only other piece of gear that is. Ribbons actually prevent you even from like Golbez's shadow dragons. Demolish. And current slowing down the battle speed, giving some extra menu time to be able to take on this Wyvern. So up here going into Baron. Question will be, does he check the Baron basement before doing Baron proper? Unless the ribbon room unless there's a super long chain, there's still a chance of like K7 being on. But there could be a super long chain. So we've got the pan out there, we've got the tower key.
Yeah.
Cecil just dicing up the Leviathan here with that crystal sword. Or not crystal sword, exhale I should say. Almost the same thing. They're both shiny sticks.
Yeah, given we know this Baron is a Zonk, hopefully we don't hit anything like that tower key or pan that's gonna send Soapbox down an even bigger rabbit hole.
I mean, it also comes down to when you're trying to route, it comes down to some people like to run via percentage base. Okay, I've got 2 checks underground versus 7 on the moon. I've got more chances on the moon than I have underground. Then there's also the fact of, well, I've got quick underground stuff that I can do and finish up on the moon. It's all these toss-up choices that you have to make. And Karant finally getting through this Wyvern, showing him who's boss. Gonna see what's here. And we find the pass. Ooh, that is a super find on Karant's side.
Yep, definitely a big one, because we know that Karant has to go back to the Earth and go underground for that rat tail. So not having to go back to the moon at that point, huge for Karant.
Well, even then, it's like still has to go back to the blue planet to turn in the tails. So taking on the K value here to finish on the moon and just going, I don't ever have to come back here again unless K trap's on. Just a matter of will he find something that diverts him just a little bit, like that tower key. You finish that hook route, you've got the tower key. It always itches in the back of your mind of going, I'm here at the tower, I can full clear it, I'm right here right now. What's the harm in doing it?
Yeah, and on flag sets and objective lists that lean themselves towards high completion, it is very tempting to do stuff like the tower and dwarf before going for those freebies, because typically what you want to do is you want to walk through the damage tiles of Fame March and Sylph Cave to do your freebies when you're going for a refill. So yeah, a lot of people, and especially if you haven't found a pan yet. So the temptation to do that is very strong on Karan's side if you end up with a tower key. And unfortunately, well, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, just a defense sword, and we just reset out of it.
That's not worth keeping. Just the dolls there. There's a chance that Soap misses out on the pass. If he goes top down, because at that point, you're not looking for another key item, you're just looking for a boss. And you've got most of the boss gating items out of the way, so fading that Wyvern could be something that's done. And just a crystal ring, so there's 2 Zongs towards that case summon. Meanwhile, Karan gonna go down the hook route. Not gonna turn the pink tail just yet. Already has 1 adamant armor. 2's great, but you've got 1. Let's come back later when I have the rat tail just to make the single dip location. And we've got just a pale dim here at the Baron. Rightly so, Fiery Blizzard. That Train the Pigtail could give us our crystal. That is something to keep in mind. Like, there's a chance of either 7 or required all.
Yeah, with so many variables and mystery, that's something that could be easily forgotten, especially when you're in Karan's shoes and you've kind of taken the gamble. You did the D machine, you full cleared the moon, but you haven't gone underground yet, and you haven't completed everything. So now you start worrying. You start worrying about, oh goodness, has my opponent kind of gotten ahead of me while I've been doing all this all this moon stuff.
Yeah, and then of course a 4th edge. I wonder if our, I think it was Asuka, is Edge Asuka's favorite character? Because that's a lot of ninjas, and we find the magma key here at Baron.
Hey, we can go underground now.
Yeah. Question is, does Soap go to the moon? Oh, you rolled this, Gala? Okay. And it's gonna go turn on this rat tail. If this rat tail gives something like pan or tower key, it's gonna hurt a little bit, because then it's just like, yeah, about that. Two more quick checks.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, they are 2 quick checks that we know are not going to pan out to be anything.
Rightly so, and Soap sitting here going back and forth going, what do I do? What do I do? Let's make a choice. Do I go? Okay, I'm going back underground. I'm gonna go turn this in.
Meanwhile, on Karan's side, Karan did ditch the character for the Cecil and put that crystal sword on. So we are going to try and slingshot that Cecil on the hook route. I like it. Ditch the Tella. So we still got Sid Anchor, but we ditched the Tella.
Yeah, well, there's still a chance of it being vanilla agility, so could end up messing up the agility anchoring here with that Cecil. He grows in agility quite quickly, and can sometimes backfire on you. Checking the selves here, and we get just a life staff. We're gonna make quick, easy work of this mom bomb here. Cecil taking a nap.
But we definitely do not have a vanilla agility on. We definitely had Sid with a curse ring in the middle, and we kind of went in turn order. And I think just with leveled Kane versus leveled Rosa, I believe a leveled Kane would go first there.
So let's go ahead and see what Sheila gives for the pan. On soaps, we're kind of hoping for it not to be the tower key, because that may push us. Okay, it's a package. Oh no, it was Sheila one that was a package. Spoon! So with that, that puts the tower key either in a summon location or at the top of tower. Or even trap. There's still a slight chance there being in one trap chest. Not like we haven't seen that happen before.
Yeah, but I think
Sylph was just a life staff. We've gotten 3 zonks from summon locations.
yeah, good on Soap here though. I like Soap going to the moon at this point.
Now comes the question, does he go bottom up or top down? We know that there's 2 objectives down at the bottom, the White Spear and the Masamune altar. And technically a 3rd one there with Golbez. Does Soap go bottom up versus top down? I would probably guess he would go bottom up because of the 2 objectives that are down there at the bottom. Hoping that he does the ribbon room for, technically his grind, because he hasn't done any grinding yet. And with more than 10 key items, that is 200,000 experience at that spot. But looks to be going top down.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, the other 2 objectives are down there. May just be concerned about the slightly greater power level at the lower spots.
Right. I was just about to mention that, is that haven't really grinded, had the boss up here. Let's get some experience on this party and find some Mylon Z. We've got an Excal. So we're going to be able to quickly get through this. It's just a matter of whether or not Soap does that ribbon room for that pass.
Meanwhile, underground, but yeah, kind of doing what I talked about here. When you're in the situation where you definitely don't want to go through Sylph Cave twice, and you're looking for that pan, or maybe even that tower key. Yeah, you're doing some of the other checks, and so not doing that freebie first. In this case, it's gonna add some time to his run.
Also, yeah, like he doesn't know whether or not the warp glitch is on. This could either be 1 or 2 key items here. So it's 2 checks versus 1.
And that's gonna mostly eliminate any concern about levels on Soapbox's side. Finding that adamant armor there, that was a big play.
Yeah, and we all know where that adamant's going to go. It's going to go on that Cecil. Cecil's going to go Burr with the Excal.
And eventually the crystals.
Yes, and then it's just work up Cecil and let him go to town. It's just a matter of where we put the second one that's going to be getting on the Soap side. I can see putting it on the edge, but I can also see put it on the Rosa for the power couple, because that's all you really need for Z is the power couple.
Yeah, without really, not really any. I don't know. We do have one. We have one Masa there, I think.
Yeah, we have Masa,
So-
Full Moon.
Yeah, we have.
I guess for me, it also depends on what level Rosa ends up being on too.
Yeah, definitely. But we certainly have the gear for Edge to be the viable second circular that I'd probably. Depending on also if we bought Zeus gauntlets or power shirts at that Ford shop, so that would definitely make me put the adamant armor on the Rosa and then put the power shirt on the Edge.
Incurrent warping, getting a legend sword. Will he forge or will he just go, no, I've got a crystal sword, I'm happy. And we're going to have Soap here taking on this evil wall, going to get the pink tail. And then just a matter of taking on the Masamune altar and the White Spear altar. It's still anybody's game. Around here going into Tamra. Not sure what we're looking for here. Found our sirens. For Karan, we really don't need those. Maybe it was a look for some star veils. I don't know if he has any left over or not. But it's about to get his rat tail and possibly be in go mode.
Yeah, we'll find out pretty quick once those tails are turned in if we've still got that football gauntlet check. Although I'm sure Karan will probably realize it right away as well.
Yeah, we'll know as soon as because it'll either say required all 7 objectives done or all objectives complete, and you get your crystal. So we're gonna find out here shortly enough whether or not it's 7 or all. And with that pass, gonna pop the one siren we have.
Get a little bit more, a few more levels on that Cecil.
Okay, we've got a crystal sword. We've got at least one enemy going to be getting a second one here. More power. And Soapbox makes it through the evil wall with just the edge. And is rewarded with that pink tail. And is going to be warping a few times here as it is just a tad bit faster to warp in certain locations on the moon. Get to the next doorway. Alright, here comes the... Going to check Silvera here. Looking for silk webs, maybe?
I think silk webs may have been sitting in the Mysidia shop, if I remember correctly, because I think there were some illusions.
Yeah, they're in the Mysidia shop, so that's the only thing I can think of. May not have had the cash. Alright, here we go. Finally, the moment of truth. Rat tail. Here, take this pan. Oh, I don't need it. And we turn to the pigtail. all objective. So that answers our question. Grunt saved after doing the gauntlet. Okay. And is rewarded with another adamant armor and gets the crystal and is now in a go mode with the pass.
Yeah, see, Tybalt, I like how we set that up. It made things much more interesting for the viewers and us.
Yeah. I mean, when you save quickly and you miss it to see whether or not they saved it, it puts us all in suspense of, did they save? Oh no. But it's going to be going through the shortcut here at Troya with that pass. So what's so special about here in Troya and the pass?
So there are two ways to get to Zeromus in free enterprise once you have the crystal. One is your standard walk all the way down the LST and get to his spot that you the same way you do in the vanilla game. The other way is through the pass door, which takes you into a nice little bar in the vanilla game, but here it takes you to Zeromus. It will warp you straight to his lair and to the moon. Also, so I kind of got that down, but Tybalt, where are all these flags coming up in chat here?
Yeah, so Zeromus the final boss. We don't move him around. Like I still think it would be pretty cool to see Zeromus like Antlion or in one of the trap chests, but he just keeps resisting our randomization. But he can only resist us so much. So instead of moving him around, we decide to change who he is. The biggest question we always ask, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight? But now we also have some other questions we ask. Is the butt cute? Does it have a hat? And how is the butt? We always forget to ask that question.
Yeah, and with this particular set of mystery weights, we do have a 1 in 1,000 chance, I believe, that it is vanilla butt.
Vanilla butt's no fun. Do you have a favorite Zeromus butt?
I don't really know if I have a favorite. I have a few that I get amused by for sure. I know, especially I was doing a lot of SMZ3 gameplay during one-off season, and I got Mother Brain during my first seed back to free enterprise. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. So this is a cartoony, scary butt.
Yeah, this is a new butt to me, even. Z Demus. Oh, so it's the Ganon from the Zelda game that doesn't exist. Okay. That is a very interesting butt. And Soapbox gets through that Golbez, gets his crystal sword, gets 2 more objectives done, and is on his way to go to fight on Ruby. Around here, Palom taking a counter nuke for 2,000. That was a bit of an ouch. And I got a Cure 3 coming up from Palom here. I think it's going to be going for more of like a hybrid strat here. So we're going to have Cecil and Kane zerked up, and we're going to have the nukes and whites being reflected off of Sid here.
Yeah, when you have a setup like this, Z tends to hit the dirt pretty fast. Interesting Rubicante setup on Soapbox Gamer's side. Don't really have the option to jump here, so we're having to kind of eat the fire twos, and that's a little bit dicey.
As long as nobody's actually wearing the adamant armor for Soap, as we're seeing full power fire twos on everybody. Cecil with an ice brand here. Will it be enough? Ooh, takes a punch. Cecil goes down. Don't be afraid to equip that admin armor on somebody. Yes, when you take it off, it removes all the resistance from that person. But never be afraid to swap it around to get through a fight.
Yeah, and we had a peek at the menu, and I didn't see it. Didn't see any equipping of anything else onto anybody. So did So forget he got it?
I don't know. But going to be taking on this Wyvern here. As it goes through the lit one, and then it's just going to start throwing out those nukes. Zerking up the edges and the Cecil. Yeah, the Solar's been in the run buffering. Most of the moon spots, you really can't do it. And we are in Rocks phase on Karan's side. Going for a quick fight here. One final nuke from Palom. Is it enough? There's the snap, crackle, boom. Ganon is down. GG's to Karat. We'll see if we can get Karat in here for an interview. Karat finishing in 6th place overall, as there are many other runners in this particular race.
Soapbox having to fight the inventory boss for that pass.
Oh, yeah, something you definitely want to take, and well, you kind of have to take. Still has that adamant armor in his inventory, not equipped. Gonna go back and save and take on this Ruby here one more time. Put the admin armor. Put the admin armor on the Cecil. Zerk him up, let him go to town.
Just keep looking. Look. There we go. He saw it.
Yeah, he's oh, it's gonna go on Edge, or is it gonna go on Cecil? Oh, the suspense. Gee.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna get Karat in here for an interview here. And with that, we have Karat. GG's, Karat.
GG's. Thanks everybody. Oh boy, my heart is still racing after that one.
You really let us on for a lot of suspense there. After taking on the Football Gauntlet at the Mist Cave, we didn't see you save after. So when you reset out of the Sand Ruby check, we didn't know whether or not you still had that objective done or not.
Yeah, I did reset very quickly afterward because I think I reset after the Football Gauntlet and then went and checked the shops in Mist, then went over to oh good grief. Yeah, but I did save. It was just a very quick save.
So you're throwing us like, is it 7? Will he recognize? Like we, just.
Well, apologies for the unwanted heart palpitations. I guess I saved a little too quickly, I suppose. So apologies, I guess.
Oh, not a problem. It made for great showing.
Yes. I will say, if I had actually reset out of that, well, okay, so I did reset out of it to begin with, because whenever I see Football Gauntlet normally, I just hit the reset button. I'm like, nah. And then I'm going, wait, that's the Gauntlet. So I ran back in. Yeah. Also, F's in chat for the Troya Treasury. That was, oi.
Yeah, somebody was already there and already looted it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the T standard goblin went in and took all of the Hanzo steel and holy swords out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say not just T standard, but it was sparse at least 30.
It was if it was sparse 30, there may have been like 3 chests maximum that would have been in there. This was more of like a sparse 7.
Okay, well, I just realized that there were a lot of empty chests, and I'm going, oh well, rip. Because what I was hoping for in terms of doing that was to try to get some gear for my people, because there wasn't much to be had, at least in terms of where I had gone.
No, we saw you decide to go do the early D machine and went to the moon. You saw the Rydia. What was your thoughts when you saw the Rydia there?
Sorry, Rydia, it's time to go to the Tower of Wishes. You're talking about Rydia on the moon, I presume?
Yep, Rydia on the moon. You had already finished your grind, and then you see another new caster up there.
Yeah, at that point, I wasn't going to invest the time. I mean, because Rydia can be fantastic if you have the stuff for her, but considering that I was already done with my D Machine grind and Palom was already in full Blaze territory, I wasn't going to take the time to continue that, or to do Rydia.
Yeah, so going back to the D Machine grind itself, you notice pretty early on the life glitch wasn't on. Is there any point when you're kind of discovering how things are playing out with the D Machine grind and even the moon checks? Is there any point where you start thinking, okay, this is not working out, I need to go? Because you stuck with that play till the very end and dove the hook route almost last. Was there any point, especially in that D Machine grind, when you're finding out, life glitch is off and any of that, are you doubting yourself at all and thinking, you know what, I should just nope out of this and go back? Or are you saying like, nope, we're sticking to the plan, let's keep going? What are your thoughts there?
No, I didn't hesitate at all, because you notice I tried life twice just to make sure that the life glitch was indeed off, or that I had not, say, mistargeted that first one. But no, when I realized that it was off, I knew I was glad I'd bought those 10 Earth 2s, or Ether 2s, because holy Moses, I'd needed all of them. But no, there wasn't really any doubt at that point, because there were two, you had the White Spear and Masamune altar objectives already. So my plan was essentially, once I finished the D Machine grind, I was going to go ahead and just go straight moon. And in hindsight, I probably should have just gone ahead and full cleared moon, because it wasted a little bit of time, me going back and forth a lot. But what I was fearing at that point, after I did the White Spear and Masamune and Wyvern baked me into little tiger cakes, I decided to go ahead and do the Harp and then see if that yielded underground access and go from there, essentially. And when it didn't, that's when I was like, well, crap, I made not the wrong move, because Harp was objective, but the wrong move in terms of I should have finished moon first and then gone back down. So that was really my only regret on that front, was that I didn't full clear moon immediately.
Even then, like, it was one heck of a run there. Trying to think, you go to the moon, you immediately go down to the bottom, you see the Golbez at the White Spear altar.
Oh,
So
I felt real good at that point.
And then
Sorry.
you get the Crystal Sword.
I felt real bad at that point.
And then you come around to find the Cecil on the hook route, and you're like, was there any thought to check other character spots, or to rearrange your party, maybe have grabbed the second Rosa or checking the hook character before doing the D Machine grind?
No, ZZ3 and ZZ4 have taught me well. If you have a D Machine grind early on in a seed, you take it, because otherwise the better players in the run are going to do it, are going to have power, and are going to blow you out of the water. So, I had no doubts. The only character that I would have switched out for after doing the D Machine grind was Cecil, because of that Crystal Sword.
Yeah, and the switch still worked out for you. Cecil was swinging for over 5K, even with under 2,000 hit points.
Yeah, that's why I took that last Siren. When I got the Rat Tail, I immediately went out of Fey March because I knew I was good to go. But I did want to get some last levels on Cecil, and I knew that last Siren was a quick way to do it without having to spend very much time on it. So I figured that would probably pay dividends in the end, and I think it did.
Yeah, so at least something that I was wondering, I think some people in chat were wondering, when you were in the underground, you started looking at item shops. Was there anything in particular that you were looking for? Was it, we saw that you had a book inventory, but what were you exactly looking for?
I was looking for Cure 3s. I didn't remember seeing them anywhere, and what I'd been thinking about doing before I saw that Cecil was I was going to basically do reflect strats on Z and then have the two boys just chuck around Cure 3s to keep to keep Palom and Rosa going. But so that's the main thing I was looking for at that point. I just didn't remember seeing them anywhere, and if I forgot, then well, that's on me, but I don't remember seeing them in any of the shops I looked at.
I know we saw them for sale, I just can't remember myself where they were. They were for sale somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure I probably did miss them somewhere, but that's what I was looking for ultimately was Cure 3s. If I'd found those, I would have stopped shopping for anything.
I think Cure 3s were in the Fate March item shop, if I remember correctly.
They were not. Well, did I look at that? I don't remember if I looked in that one even. Oh, I didn't because I noped out after the Rat Tail, so I wouldn't have been able to. Ironic that, eh?
No, I was definitely watching that one just to see if we were getting any more of the tiered items, just because we're still looking at the shop flags and stuff like that. So yeah, I remember watching, I think it was Soap go through and check that item shop. But yeah, they were definitely there.
Okay. Yeah, go figure. The last item shop I could have looked at and the one that I noped out of had what I was looking for. There you go.
So what are your thoughts on the whole mystery seed concept, at least when it comes to free enterprise?
It's interesting because you might have noticed at the very beginning of the seed, I went ahead, or well, after I looted some, I went ahead and checked for the Dupe glitch because there was one seed with the Dupe glitch in my practice. So I'm going, hey, if I can figure this out, then well, there you go. But unfortunately, womp womp. But yeah, it was interesting. It's definitely very interesting vis-a-vis trying to figure out what exactly you have and what you can do. So probably the biggest surprise of this seed was, well, hey, hi life glitch. You're in the bin now, so congratulations, I suppose. But yeah, it's fun just from the fact that it is a mystery and that it is, just trying to figure all that stuff out and just going from there. But GG's Soapbox, congratulations.
We'll see if we can get him in for an interview. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Y2?
No, I think we covered it all. Great run, Karan. It made for great viewing here to see the nope, we're not going down the hook route. We're gonna go Team Machine. We're gonna go Moon. That play always makes for some great viewing, and I love to see it here in the Pink Puff League.
I appreciate it. It was interesting. I would have felt better about it if I'd been able to get both tails on the moon. I would have felt like an absolute champ if I had. But that's kind of what I was thinking. Hey, I'm glad it was fun, and I feel like I did reasonably well, so I am pretty happy with myself. But thank you to everybody. Thanks to Tybalt and Y2 Sky for hosting. Scala on the restream. Thank you for rolling an 8 objective seed. And Commander Leonhard, I see you're doing the tracking, so thank you very much as well, and thanks all. I will go ahead and jump out so that Soapbox can jump in, so thank y'all. Have a great night. I'll be in free enterprise chat if y'all want to bop me on the head.
Thanks, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good night, and GG's once again. Yeah. So while we were interviewing Karan there, Soapbox did finish here in 10th. I just want to do a quick shout out to our restreamer Scala Kitty, who's been amazing to do the restream here with Tracker with Commander, keeping us all straight on our toes with the key items. And you, White, you are my wonderful co-commentator. Be sure to follow all of these people as they're wonderful.
Yeah, and we're forgetting another great soul here in the booth. Tibble love commentating, love listening to you commentate during the Anima Cup, and honored to get to have a shot in the booth with you.
Oh, thank you. And we're going to be joined here shortly with Soapbox Gamer. And with that, GG's Soapbox.
GG's, guys. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Heck of a race.
I guess I showed how very scared I was of the moon early.
Well, I mean, you made your play. You stuck on Earth. You got the Cecil. You found an Excal in the Forge. You played a heck of a race there. Was there any thoughts of doing a different type of grind, or you just wanted to, hey, I've got my party, let's just go underground?
Yeah, I was pretty much flipping a coin because I'm thinking to myself as I go to the moon early, it's way too early for me to attack an altar. I barely have got levels on anybody. Let me get Quack online, see if I can fumble around on Earth and get a couple things together. I felt better about it once, I cleared most of underground. I didn't have to go back into the Fame Arch, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's a Forge, have an Excal, and step on the gas pedal. I kind of figured I was maybe a few minutes off pace, but I didn't expect to be within a half hour of everybody else, so I'm actually very happy about that.
Yeah, because you clear the underground, you get to the moon, you decide to go top down, and you see the Mylon Z there, and you get an adamant armor from that check. How excited were you to get that?
Extremely. And I held on to it for a couple of minutes because I'm thinking to myself, when do I actually use it? And apparently once I got to Mass Altar, I was like, well, there's a root kit in front of me. Yeah, let me do it. Let me use it here. And then I knew I was going to get another one anyway, so.
Yeah, it's something we mentioned in the commentary here. It's always a weird thing to equip the adamant armor, because as soon as you remove it, you become immediately weak to all elements. You did have some gear to kind of prevent that, like the dragon armor. So never be afraid to actually equip that onto somebody and have to remove it later on. As long as you give another piece that gives resistances, you're fine. So your protect rings, your dragoon armor, all of those will help counterbalance removing that adamant armor.
Yeah. No, you know what? I didn't actually think of that. I always kept thinking it was just an exposure whenever I actually equip it. But then again, I didn't really wait long. It was maybe like 5-10 minutes, so it wasn't really that much of it wasn't that much of a penalty, I would guess. But that's something I do need to remember going forward.
Let's see. You got the Stardust Rod from the Bedward, and then you immediately go to Mist Cave and you see the Alt Gauntlet there. How happy were you to see that early Alt Gauntlet?
I love early objectives. It gets you right into it. It gives you a good feel. It makes you feel like, all right, I'm making progress quickly. Maybe we can get something else going on. And then I kind of sat at 2 for a while, and I didn't think I'd get a double. And by the time I got to White Spear Altar, I felt better once I got down there. But I'm thinking in the back of my head, I should have went to Moon a little bit earlier, but I wanted to stick with what I had. But I was very happy because, getting 2 immediately out of the way, especially when you have 8 objectives leering at you, you just feel better that all of a sudden you have the number down to like, all right, I got 5 or 6 left. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, and you found all the edges.
Man, I never saw so many in my life, and I wanted to take all of them with me, but I knew I couldn't. But I was so happy to see a ton of them like that. And then I found a couple Drain Spears and had enough money to burn to grab like a 6 or 7 of them.
So I'm going to ask the same question I asked to Karan here. So what are your thoughts on the whole mystery flag set concept for free enterprise? I know it's been around for a little while, and I know you've done some other randomizers as well. What are your thoughts with the free enterprise?
Well, pertaining to the mystery flag, I probably have the least amount of experience playing mystery because it was so. When I first started playing, it was very intimidating to me because if you're still learning the game, if you don't know complete ins and outs and how certain flags actually behave, it can be a daunting task. But it got to a point where I've been playing this long enough. If you don't challenge yourself with a mystery flag here and there, it's kind of you're not benefiting yourself. But at least I went into this one tonight, and with all the practice ones I've done, I basically told myself, as long as you're under 2 hours, it's really, I'd call it a win, especially with how little experience I have with it. But I do feel encouraged to actually even do the ones on ladders and get involved in those as well. But it's a lot of fun, especially when you get all these random flags and then you start getting the wacky flags involved. I remember randomly racing one where I had the ambidextrous flag on, and then all of a sudden you had swords everywhere, which kind of made it really funny. But it was a good time. But I do like it once you have a feel of what the game is like.
All right. Do you have anything for Soap Y2?
So we did mention you went top down on the moon with your objectives being at the bottom. What were your thoughts there as far as like your sequencing on the moon?
I knew I didn't really grind much. I wanted to grab a couple levels, and on top of that, I didn't have a pass. So I was hoping maybe I'd pick it up along the way, which, eventually I did, but it was nice enough to just grab. But I wanted to make sure I had most of it done, because usually if I leave one alone, all of a sudden one stray one is usually at the top where I left it. But I figured if I went top down and I had everything done, I could exit out, and more than likely I'd have a pass by then.
Yeah, it definitely worked in your favor. That first boss being the Pylon Z, weak to both your Cecil and your Edge with the full moon.
I couldn't have asked for a better boss there, to be quite honest. As soon as I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, hey, free levels, good for me, woohoo! And then warp straight out, work my way down, and then the Crystal Solar Altar was, well, that kind of made my heart skip a couple beats, but at least we got one edge to get through it.
Get through what you did, and you got the sub too. That's a really good time. Really good time on this mystery flag set. I definitely enjoyed watching both of you run this. It's definitely encouraged me to maybe go pick up a mystery flag set or two in my spare time.
I honestly feel a lot better about playing these at this point, because it's more, you get to immediately explore and not know outright what you're gonna do. So you can't go into a seed with any preconceptions as to how you want to run it, because you really don't know what's going to give you in the first place, and you don't know what the behavior is going to be like. It was good for me to know that I found that, the life glitch was off. So I started taking more trap chests, because I'm not going to really get any help on any of those boss ones. So it makes you actually route a little bit different, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely. Well, Temple, that's all I got.
That's all I have. Soap, you got any other thoughts on the seed or Ping Pup in general?
Well, obviously, shout outs to everybody in PPL. It's my 3rd season, and obviously I don't think I'm going to graduate this year, but, shout outs to everybody that's decided to put their stuff together, running well. And honestly, I want to give J-Mac a shout out, because she's been running extremely well in the last 2 months, and it's been impressive to watch. But on top of that, I'm just grateful to be a part of this community, as always. And I appreciate all of you guys spending all this time putting all these productions together day after day and week after week. I know it's a grind sometimes, but you guys make it look so effortless and great, and I couldn't ask for a better place to be. And on top of that, did you also enjoy my Poison Stair walk through LST?
Yes, of course. The song of my people.
I'm sitting there, I start walking, I'm like, oh, we're going to get 2 minutes of this. I'm so happy. But I mean, that's all. That's all I'm really grateful for. And honestly, GG's to Kieran. I'm pretty sure he finished a few minutes ahead of me. I didn't get a chance to look at the standings, but everybody did good tonight. GG's everybody.
GG's once again, and hope to see you run in future races.
I can only hope so. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, well, that was Soapbox Gamer. GG's once again to him. GG's again to Trent and all of our runners here. Well, it doesn't really mean we're done with Free Enterprise yet, does it, Y2?
No, it doesn't. I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be driving the mystery machine to another channel and continuing the fun.
Yeah, we're actually be going on over to good old Heart Gamer, who is currently running this as well. So no spoilers. Go ahead and cheer him on. And get through this steed. I mean, mystery is a bit of a rough thing. So again, no spoilers. We do have a stack of newspapers. They do hurt. I know from personal experience. But one final shout out to our restreamer Scala, Drag Early Commander Leonhardt, and my co-commentator Y2 Sky.
And a big shout out to my co-commentator Tibble. Thanks for such a good time tonight. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend.